This goes out to all my fish lovers, getting together on the foam and just hover. Nothing to hide but to only uncover, treating one another like it's our own brother. What up YouTube, you know what it is, LEOPAZZO TV. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you to all my latest subscribers, and in general to all my subscribers. Thank you very much, I totally appreciate it, and I could have not have done it without you guys. Thank you. Now moving forward with the 120 gallon tank build. Just to refresh your guys' memory, this is a 120 gallon tank, 48 inches long, 24 inches tall by 24 inches front to back. It is 1/2 inch glass, and we have Euro bracing front to back. We've built the tank injection method, we've built a sump for it, we've built an oak stand for it, and we've ordered quite a few parts such as skimmer, return pump, we got LED light, we got wave maker, we got heaters, and we got a lot to do and a lot moving forward. We got plumbing parts ready to go. So guys, we're just working on the next step right now. And as you can see behind me, this tank does not have an overflow box installed on it yet. And that's what we're doing today in this video. We're going to be installing an overflow box. What I have here is a black acrylic overflow box. It measures 12 inches front to back, or sorry, left to right, and 6 inches front to back. As you can see right there, 6 inches this way, 12 inches this way. But all in all, to install this overflow box, a few things I wanted to point out to you guys, such as tools and material and a few tips and tricks. So let's just go over some of the tools briefly. So we're going to need some painter's tape, masking tape, whatever you got, nice and wide works well for me, so you can put that aside. We're going to need silicone, aquarium sealant silicone, which is, this one's made from Marineland. Just make sure that it is aquarium safe and is made for aquariums. Just spend that extra few dollars and buy the proper silicone instead of not buying the right silicone to do the job. We have our good old razor blade, fresh sharp razor blade. Make sure you got a razor blade on hand. We got our paper towel here. We got our glass cleaner acetone. We have measuring tape. Love measuring tapes. They don't lie. They tell the truth. Numbers don't lie. We got our good old handy square just to make sure that we install the overflow box square to the tank, and in general is just sitting nicely. Other than that, we have the overflow box. So I get some sandpaper, whatever you guys have kicking around, and sand the area, the edge of where the silicone is going to be applied. So therefore it's going to be the bottom, L shape, both sides, front, back, and the bottom, and as well over here. The back, the thickness of it, and the front of it. All the way around about a 1/4 inch. Wherever you think, make your own judgment of where the silicone's going to be, how thick your bead of silicone's going to be. Overflow box installation. Overflow box installation. Overflow box. Overflow box. Overflow box installation.
Overflow box installation.
Alright, now I'm ready to sand the overflow box, as I was mentioning earlier. About a 1/4 inch on the front, 1/4 inch on the back, and on the thickness of it. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that right now. Okay, I just finished one of this. It's real heat. On it. Let's see.
Okay, I just finished doing the front face of it all. Now I'm going to do the 1/4 inch thickness of it all. Alright, overflow box is prepped. Take off the dust. Now I'm just going to check to see how it's sitting square and measure at the same time.
Okay, so this is the game plan. I'm starting to prep up the area by taping up the overflow box and glass of the aquarium so I can have a nice clean straight edge of silicone. And once the silicone is applied, I'll be removing the tape immediately. Sit back, relax, and watch how I installed this overflow box.
Alright guys, I just finished installing the overflow box. I just finished siliconing it, cleaning up the area,
and now I'm just waiting for it to dry. I'm going to let it dry for approximately 3 days. I'm in no rush. It probably even be 4 or 5 days, maybe even a week or two before the tank even gets filled up with water. As the client and I were in no rush, we're just building the tank slowly, as they're actually in a 60-gallon saltwater tank right now, and we're going to be doing a big move from that 60-gallon tank to this 120-gallon tank all in one day. So that's going to be another video, so look out for that one as well. For now, we're working on this 120-gallon tank. I just finished installing the overflow box, and again, I wanted to show you guys and actually more or less mention to you guys why I decided to make the overflow box the size that it is. It is 12 inches from left to right across the front, and it is 6 inches from front to back. Again, why did I make it that size? I have 1.5 inch drain. That drain is going to be a Duracell standpipe. So it's going to basically, I'm not sure if you guys seen it yet, but it's two 90-degree elbows with a T on the top so it can breathe, and then it goes straight down. So again, just straight up, elbow, elbow. So this elbow distance needs to be calculated. Again, they're going to be 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches, elbow, elbow, that approximately right there is going to be 6 inches. So if you bring that straight down and now you have a bulkhead to install, that bulkhead is not 1.5 inches. It is more or less probably 2 inches or 2.5 inches. I don't have a measuring tape in front of me, but I know it is bigger as it does have a flange flare on it. So those are all things that need to be considered. Not alone the drain, right next to the drain I have a return line. Which the return line is coming from the pump that's sitting into the sump filtration that's going to be pumping the water back inside the tank. So that return line is what size? 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch. Now I'm going to have a 1 inch pipe beside the drain. So all in all, my calculations came out to about 11.5 inches. To give myself some room, I made the overflow box 12 inches. Again, from left to right, across the front. Now from front to back, I did the same thing. According to where I positioned and finally located and drilled my holes into the bottom piece of glass, once those holes were actually set in stone, meaning actually drilled in the glass, I was able to position those two bulkheads, the 1.5 inch drain, the 1 inch return. I was able to position them. As you can see, that's my explanation. Since I'm here talking about it right now, that's my reason why the tank is elevated on this 2x6 right here. This one right here, and this one right here. LEOPAZZO, why would you have the tank elevated? Well, I might as well tell you right now. The reason for that I have it elevated off the ground, so I can actually install those bulkheads. As those bulkheads sit flush to the bottom piece of glass here, it sits flush to the top of it, but it actually extends about 2.5, 3 inches approximately. So, if it was sitting on the ground, would I be able to put down that bulkhead? No, because the ground floor would basically prevent it from going down. Well, is this where the tank's going to be sitting? No, it's going to have a stand. But what do I want to do in advance? I want to cut some of the plumbing pieces inside the overflow box at home, for an example, in my shop, ahead of time before getting to the customer's house. So when I get to the customer's house, it's nice and easy, and almost as much as I can have done already before I get there, the better. So I'm going to position those bulkheads. You guys are going to see this all in upcoming videos, but I just want to kind of explain to you and see what's going on and tag it along with the overflow box and the plumbing, how it's all kind of starting to tie in and how to install it and all that other jazz. So again, I'm going to be putting the bulkheads in, the two bulkheads, one for the drain, one for the return line. I have the tank elevated so I can actually have them come down like they were going to be when the tank is going to be sitting in the stand. and then I can cut the height of the pipe with the 90-degree elbows of the drain. I can cut the return line, the return line pipes, and the overflow box is done. So when I get there, I'll have this section, which is the drain, and this section, which is the return line. All I gotta do is slide it inside the overflow box, go underneath the tank, tighten them up, and from there I'll be able to connect the rest of my plumbing, which again, I'm going to get that prepped up before I even get there as much as possible. What else? Other than that, you saw that I sanded the overflow box on the outside and along the bottom. Everywhere the overflow box was going to be contacting the silicone and the glass, from the side walls of the glass to the bottom pane of the glass of the aquarium. I put that piece of tape there. You can see there's a piece of tape just kind of holding the overflow box semi in position, even though the silicone is actually grabbing it and holding it in position, but I just kind of put it in there just to be safe in case, you know, walking around the house, make it maybe bounce around or whatever. Just, it's better to kind of secure it, put a piece of tape or two. This bad boy's almost all ready to go. I just wanted you guys to show you and talk about those few tips and tricks about an overflow box, the installation of an overflow box, the prep. If you guys need an overflow box, like I mentioned earlier, let me know, write me down an email, I'll leave it in the description below. If you need something custom made, I'm sure I can probably ship it out, or you can pick it up in person. But all in all, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's a few tips and tricks here that you can possibly learn from. If there's anything that I didn't mention, or if there's anything that you wanted to point out, or if you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments below. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and that's pretty much it. Till next time.